Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Creating in the Waiting. Today, we are working on the base to a new flip-flop. So, I have simply... Do I want to use this one? No. This one I obviously started. Sometimes these front envelopes are... Well, do I want to use it? They just need a little bit more substance. This would be 1 signature, 2 signatures, 3 signatures. We could attach another one here. Let me go ahead and just start another one. It's not a big deal. I just don't know that I only have 4 envelopes here. I'm gonna start with all the same size envelopes. The smaller envelopes look really cute, but to me, the ones that I have, they aren't sturdy enough. Excuse me. And I feel like they will fall apart, but that's just me, to each his own. This first envelope is going to attach to this envelope here. So I'm simply just going to put some glue on this flap and glue it directly to the back of this. And I'm going to be using my Scotch Permanent. I think I have found the digital kit for the most part that I want to play with. So I have printed several pieces to do my base with. I feel like I got that too close. Let me just see, because you want it to be able to open and close with ease and not get caught up. I think that'll be fine. So you want to leave a little bit of room in between those. And basically all of your flaps are going to kind of go the same way. So you can open up your envelopes if you wish. I choose not to because I don't like the way that this is. So basically this is kind of like an accordion style, but then it'll, it flips over. So flip-flop, it flips over and there are more signatures or a signature on the back. However many envelopes determines how many signatures your flip-flop is going to be. And I know I'm going to need a couple more envelopes. That one that I grabbed, I didn't realize I had already started that one. And the way that some people kind of do these, well, for one, that's going to definitely do this. And then this is going to come like that. So you just kind of fold it in on itself and it's going to make like this shape. So far we have 1, 2, right? I can't tell if this is, 1, 2. That'll be fine once I cover it. So I would definitely need another envelope. Ooh, sorry about that, guys, but we're gonna keep on rolling because I am not stopping this video. So for those of y'all that don't know, I have Lyme disease. I crapped on my floor. This tripod is like right here. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out another setup for you guys. I think I might actually, I think I have glued this down. Yeah, I was gonna actually try to attach this. I mean, I could, because what I could do is literally slip this in here. If I can get it. Let me see, 1, 2. I'm gonna slip this into there. So I'm just gonna attach some glue here. And slide it in there, and I'll show you how this piece is done. And I don't know how this is gonna flip and flop open, but I will tell you, this starts to get a little annoying once it gets long and I'm positioned on my floor kind of weird and I can't maneuver it, and my Scotch Permanent catches very fast, so I don't have a lot of wiggle room to be messing with this. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in. But I'm gonna give it a good go. Okay, let me see. And then of course I'm gonna have to add more glue in there, but let me just see if this is even going to work. Yeah, it'll be fine. So I'm probably gonna cut this flap off, or I could come and use all of that. Is this... This piece of the actual envelope is wanting to fall apart. That's in there way too crooked. So 1, 2, and then this was my last envelope. I can't even tell where that one went in. Because I feel like this might be a little problem, especially the way it's in there. So I'm gonna take my envelope out. Bear with me. It's the way these happen. If you need to fast forward, you just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take my envelope out of here and get a different envelope. Okay, so that was that one base that we didn't put together at all. Let me grab an envelope, or several. Okay, so now we have started with what we had. And again, I am going to put glue on that flap. Again, on that other base, you could see that I had opened one up. Here, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to attach all my envelopes together. Because I don't, again, like that flap. And believe it or not, these are super sturdy. I mean, we're going to turn this envelope into something like this. And I will have a flip through to come of this. And it's super sturdy. Of course, I'm backing with paper here, and I'm sewing. It's very, very sturdy. It feels almost, I don't want to say it feels almost like a file, like you're using a file folder. You can use a file folder also. There are different tutorials on this. I've seen people use, and I have used 12 by 12 paper. But with my 12 by 12 paper, I cut it down to 6. So I used 2 12 by 12 papers and made a 6 signature flip-flop. I have a flip through of that as well. And I put that one together in my Facebook group. So now I'm just going to play with this until it does a fold that I want it to do. So it'll buckle if I do that. Because I couldn't really cut it there. And I like when it folds in. Trying to think of how I could. There's just no way, because I wouldn't be able to cut that down. So 1, 2. I know for a fact I'm just going to close this because I don't think I need any more envelopes. One signature, 2 signatures, 3, 4, and 5. I could hinge one. Let me see. That would just, I want to hinge it because I want this one to, next time I'll have to remember that. I could take one of these envelopes off because this is just, it's going to be way too much if I keep all of the envelopes. So 1, 2, hinge one here. Bear with me. 1, I need to fold this flap in. These change each time I do it. That's better. Let me cut that down just a smidgen, and I'll walk you through how it's actually going to go. And I'm cutting this down that way it will fold in pretty nicely, and it's not going to fold in that many times. So we're going to have 1, 2, that's going to open, 3, 4, and then I probably wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, I'm just going to roll with this. So basically, you're going to use 1, 2, 3. If you want it like this, there's different ways that you can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 envelopes. Okay, so you can cut these open if you wish. Again, I don't like that. All the flaps are going to be going the same way. The last flap, you are going to actually just glue down. And if you want it to fold in, you're going to make sure that it's going to close pretty nicely. I keep wanting to fold it in too many times. So you're going to have 1 signature, 2 signatures. That's going to open. And then you could put a third one here. And then you can have one on the back. So that's how that's going to be. And let's just kind of look at the papers that I have. I know I'm going to end up doing this thing upside down. Not that it really matters. So this is going to be my cover. I will link this digital kit in the description box. I'm not sure whose it is. I'm just going to find a paper that I like. And I do like this one. However, I know that a lot of that's going to be covered up. I'm going to try to find the spot here that will fit the entire... I tore that. Not that it matters, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut that. To where it's not going to be a problem. Just going to straighten up all my edges there. And then I'm really just going to glue. And then I'll cut. So I'm just going to start applying glue. This, again, does catch pretty fast. It's Scotch Permanent. Use like Tombow or, I mean, I'm fine with it catching fast. You just don't press down until you know where you want it. This glue is much stronger than even Scotch Create. This is my glue of choice. It's like, I call it my cement glue. And then I will go through and also ink up. You can fold these over if you want to fold them over instead. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to cut straight. without cutting my envelope open. Because then if I fold it over on some of these spots, it's just going to be way too bulky. But I can use the strips. I'm definitely not getting close enough. I can then use the strips. And the reason I'm not using my cutting board right now is because honestly, it makes it hard with these envelopes. You can also mark your paper and then cut it down. I just find that this works better for me. So you just do kind of what works for you. So it's going this way. And again, I didn't do the front part. That would have looked pretty on the front, but I know, again, I'm going to cover that image up. So I'm going to go ahead and just use maybe this one. I think, I don't know. Maybe even this one. Okay, let's use this. I might have to print some more papers. We'll get as much of this done as we can. I might pause the video and print some more of these, like double some of those. For the most part, some of the base is going to get covered up with pockets and scrap notepads and such. So I find if I fold, I can see better where the crease is. Doing this base sometimes is very annoying. I can't see. This is also why I don't record a lot of my stuff, because when my phone and stuff is set up in a certain angle and I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame, it makes it very hard. And I like for the experience to be enjoyable. I don't want to walk away frustrated. Again, just cutting that down. If you pin those together, that might be easier. The front. Let me come here to that one spot. No, let me not. I'm gonna just carry on with this right here. Now, for me, I don't necessarily like going all the way over the thing because, I mean, sometimes it'll fold fine. I don't know that I like that piece there. Yeah, I definitely don't have enough pieces cut. I'm going to do this piece here. I know I'm going to have pockets. maybe even I'm gonna have definitely like a scrap notepad or a secret writing spot or something there. So a majority of that's gonna get, I just mean, the decorative paper is great. It's a little plain, so that's good there, that I'm not gonna be like scared to cover that up, you know. I don't even know why I'm trying to cut that straight. It won't happen. And I'm just going to use these scrap pieces here. I don't even think I cut that straight with the cutting board. You can ink these up if you want to ink these up. I will go through and, you know, ink the entire thing. Yeah, I definitely didn't print off enough paper. Maybe that's big enough. Nope. It's like creating one long master board. I'm just cutting this as straight as I can, the best I can right now. And then I will go back and clean it up. It really starts to come together if you sew and you sew around the edges. So this envelope is a little bit different size. And then, you know, we just go and do the same thing on the back. I am going to print some more of these pages. I'm going to sew this also straight down that. So this is what we have so far. How is this going? My Lana. Always, again, it confuses me every time I do this until I start working in it. So once you glue the pages, you are going to have to play with it to get it to fold back in, you know, the way that you want it to fold. can use your score thingamabobber. All right, so it's going like that. And then I'll just play with my papers until it, or my envelopes, until it'll fold in, you know, with ease, the way that I'm wanting it to fold in. Oh, that's gonna be a problem, I feel like. Yeah, really, those shouldn't be. It's because I didn't get enough glue right up in there. Because it shouldn't even be wanting to like buckle there. Now this other paper that I have, I don't know that I care for. The colors of it really. Where I'm just gonna see where this would kind of cut off at. I like that one. Let's go ahead and use this piece. Do I want to use it there though? I don't want to use it on the back. That's gonna be what's gonna be the back pretty much. This is gonna be the back. And it's wanting to fold in super weird. And I say that, and it's because I didn't fold my envelope straight. I'm gonna put it here. Now I would, just for video purposes, start grabbing all the pages that I have printed on double side, but I'm not going to do that. I will just go ahead and continue covering my base off camera. You get the drift. We're just covering with paper. Rinse and repeat. Let's go ahead and put one of these strips there. Yeah, I got a little bit of glue there, but you won't be able to see it, and it'll come up just fine. So I'm not going to use this one because it didn't come all the way up. just gonna kind of open this up so I can see where the paper is popping up off that envelope. I'm actually going to try to put this in my cutting board. As it all starts falling apart. Let me see if I hacked any of my envelope. We're gonna ink that up, but I didn't, did I do that? No. We'll ink that up. I keep wanting to fold this wrong. Okay, that's why it's not one to fold, because that paper's on that back side. But this is going to then go like this. Now again, I'm gonna have to work with this to get it to fold the way that I want it to fold. So I know my natural envelope crease is right there. We'll come through here and do something. You could put washi there, you could put lace there, you could put more paper there. I find that paper is honestly going to make it try to want to buckle up some. All right, so we have our cover, 1 signature, 2 signatures, 3, and then the 4th. So I'm going to cover this. I don't want to use this paper, or, you know, you could, or do I want to use that paper? Okay, I actually kind of do like that paper. So we are going to use that paper on this envelope only. Because I definitely want to use this piece. So this is not going to be fun to cut. Maybe I can get it to tear. I'm probably gonna have to take my itty bitty scissors, maybe. I think I did actually pretty good with that. Not on this side, it looks a hot mess. And then here, once I sew, I am probably going to cover some of these spines, like the little folds, with lace or something. So I'm not even gonna fret about that. So I need something here. I need something on those. So that's what our base looks like so far. And yes, I know it looks like a painful process. I have had somebody tell me that before. Oh, that process looks painful. Well, it wasn't that painful for me. Sorry if it was for you. Part of me just really wants to use one of these papers that I have printed on the back of. This is kind of what... Okay, so I may or may not use that. This digital is looking like that I'm using. It's two different kits. I honestly could use that piece and not feel that bad about it. Let me see. That way I could... I want to use that piece there. So what I'm gonna do is actually maybe try to go ahead and maybe mark that some. And cut it. It'll probably make my life a little bit easier right now. The reason why I'm not using that is because, I mean, honestly, you could use that. You're not really going to see it. I'm going to use the rest of that piece here and then try to find a scrap. I hope that you enjoyed this and learned at least a tip or a trick or what not to do. And if you did, please hit like, subscribe, and comment so that I know that you're here. Every time I do this flip-flop, it changes, so I do apologize. There is no set right or wrong way to put these together. Just make sure that the envelopes that you're using do have some type of substance. I find, okay, and you want to glue straight. I find that junk mail envelopes aren't sturdy enough, but that is just a personal opinion, a preference. I'm gonna have to cut that top. Maybe. Come down here and cut this bottom. Was I trying to get it to Is that the piece I just did? Oh, see, now I'm confused. I know this is my back. And that's upside down. Now I am so confused on how my flip-flop's going. Okay, it's going like this. Oh my word. It's all running together, guys. Okay, I did pretty good with that one. Ink that up. Cover that with something. Maybe even another like strip of paper or something. However, it is going to go like that. So I'm probably going to come through here and cover my spine with something. This paper is hanging off the edge. All right, so let's see if I'm gonna go ahead and just glue the remaining scrap pieces onto this last part. If my pages are printed double-sided, I always have a hard time, like, putting them down. I'm going to come here maybe and get right up in that crease and hope that it does not want to buckle. Once I sew it, it always tends to be fine. So we have our base pretty much covered in its entirety, with the exception of little pieces like right here. And honestly, I'm kind of thinking about maybe covering them with another piece of paper, and it would literally just be that one spot. I just don't want it to be a problem child. Maybe even taking just this lacy strip. I know that that's going to be cut crooked. I don't really want to ink that up because I want it to kind of blend in. It's too short. I mean, I could come with another piece down at the bottom, but that's just kind of defeating literally everything right now. Are they both too short? Oh yeah, that piece was too short. Regardless. Looking in my scraps to see if I have maybe, no, I don't. Okay, so I'll find something to put here, but we have, let's just show you again. That just folds up like that. Just don't overthink it. Just kind of, okay. We have 1, 2, 3, and then the back. Yeah, I like it. But once I sew, I am going to cover that with some lace and just kind of, you know, wrap it around. Again, or I could do a scrap piece of paper, but I find that they do want to kind of buckle up. I could put washi there also, because once I sew it on there, it kind of reinforces that. Part of me is just really wanting to come here with some of this paper. I'm just gonna do what I've never done before. And that is, I'm just gonna put a strip there and a strip at the bottom. I feel like it'll blend just fine. And almost, I mean, we're just using up our scraps. I love the scrappy look sometimes. So we'll put that piece there and then make it fold. And then we will just put this little strip down there. Trying to get all of this in frame, but if I'm not, sorry, I'm gonna have to figure that out for you guys. Let me not hack my envelope. I will be coming on with a flip through of the, and I'm not sure what color thread I'm using just yet, but I know that the color thread that's in is probably not what I'm going to be using on this one. Okay, there's definite, okay, that's not a paper buckle, that's, let's see, what is this? That's paper. A flip through of this flip flop I just completed. I'm gonna make a lace bookmark and a beaded pin. I might come on and do a flip through and make the last little items with you guys here in a little bit. That's definitely upside down. See, it's pretty sturdy, you can tell already. I might use the thread I have in right now. It's blush. Let me just kind of show you what that looks like. So I don't see any, oh no, here's one. Just a little clip to kind of clip that into place some. just being pretty careful right here because my journal is wanting to hit this and then shift my paper. So I'm just going to do this slower and almost kind of pull it back into place when it's wanting to move. There we go. And if the stitching is wonky, oh gosh, that stitchy is way wonky at the bottom. So I will, I don't get too concerned about the stitching like that. I did mess that up quite a bit, but, oh, that's the top. Oh, that's the top. So I'm going to cover that somehow. Like here, I can't really tell. I'll put something here that's obviously going to bother the tar out of me. I could come with maybe even a straight stitch. Let me come with a straight stitch or something right up there. And try to mask that a little bit. The thing with these flip-flops, especially when I start trying to sew it, is it takes me a second to wrap my mind around how I'm wanting it to be. I'm gonna have to put a cluster up there or something. No, I mean, it looks pretty okay to me once I get everything on it. It'll be fine, I do believe. Yeah, okay. So, probably gonna use that color thread throughout. And then what I'll do is I will go through and I will sew on all my little squares. That's pretty. I'm pretty pleased with that, even though the process was pretty painful this time, guys, especially with putting the envelopes together. But here you can see, once again, let's just do a recap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 envelopes. This envelope, the flap is, you could either cut the flap off, but really it makes it a little bit sturdier if you actually glue the flap and then glue it down. And I don't make any of these frilly pockets. I then go through and make the pockets myself. So I hope that you enjoyed this, that you learned a tip or a trick. I will also link my Facebook group in the description box below. I would love to have you guys join us over there. Y'all be blessed and create what brings you joy. Bye for now.